we have updates on Karen Reed.
Why'd you pick this picture?
I don't know. Wanted to be different. I don't know. She's a beautiful girl, and I'm always showing how beautiful she is, but I just thought it was fun to pick something different. I don't know.
Okay.
Karen Reed, accused of killing her boyfriend, Boston police officer John O'Keefe, in 2022. But, just soak yourself into that picture. Prosecutors say that she hit him with her SUV during a snowy night after a party, let him die in the cold. Okay, pretty much. She says she didn't do it, okay? We know that. We don't think she did it. Her lawyers believe someone else at the party killed him, possibly even inside the house, and then covered it up by dumping him out into the snow. This is known as an alternative suspect theory, and that's an important statement because her team is trying to use this theory in the second trial. They used it in the first trial, and they're trying to get it thrown. The prosecutors are trying to get it thrown out now. Okay? That trial ended in a mistrial, as we all know. They could not agree on a verdict. And the second trial is set for April 1st, 2025.
So that's like next week.
Oh, yeah. So we're going to probably be on the horn here about them next week.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's going on? What's the latest? March 24th and 25th. Not much happened on the 24th. That would be Monday, right? Yes. However, her team, there's still important decisions that are still pending, and we're waiting for the answers on these. So basically, whether Karen's team can again blame the other people or not for John's death, they're waiting for a decision from the judge if they can use that as part of their theory that it was done by the Boston PD, Albert and McCabe and all those people. Can she point fingers again like she did in the first one?
Right.
I don't understand why she wouldn't be able to have an alternative theory.
I was going to say, like, that's her theory. Like, she believes that this was pinned on her. So, I mean, how could you not deny her, their cause of action or how they're going to, defend herself.
Right. And I'll tell you right now, that judge, who I don't like, but if that judge denies her that right and says she cannot pin the blame and show evidence to point the blame at those people, then she's got an amazing case for an appeal. When this is over, if she's found guilty, she's going to appeal that. Let me tell you.
I mean, I think what they have on their theory of it being, was it the Bryans? I think they're very legit reasons. I mean, just the fact that he was in their house, and the night of it happening or the morning, nobody goes inside the house just to look. He was inside the house, go inside. The owners don't come outside. Like, it's just, there's a lot of like red flags. How is that not even like, how is she not even catering that idea?
And like Mark is saying right now, all you need to know is 2 minutes and 27 seconds, right? Or no, 2:27 a.m. I'm sorry. How long to die in the cold, right? Because that right there, that Google search right there is proof. It is proof. And it is the convincing factor for me. There's actually a lot of convincing factors for me, but that is probably the biggest one. That's like the, slam dunk, drop the mic, right? So the second thing as of yesterday was whether the prosecutors can see old texts and emails between Karen and her lawyer from right after the incident. So that was still pending. We're waiting on that. Then today happens. And my update.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. They're trying, those prosecutions trying to
see old texts. Mm-hmm.
But that's between her and her lawyer. How's that even okay?
Not sure. Maybe at the time maybe it was just a conversation and she hadn't like fully retained him. But I don't know. I think any lawyer that's having conversations with even a possible client, you're not allowed to give those up. So I don't understand that.
I don't understand that at all. Even if you told your lawyer that you committed the murder, he can't say anything, right? Is that true?
No, you can't.
It's like a confidential. Yeah. So that's what I mean. Like, how are they able to? That's interesting.
Okay. So anyway, today, my latest update for today is only up till like 12 noon. So maybe something happened after that. I don't know, but I was busy. Okay. So Karen's lawyers argue that she should be allowed to say someone else killed O'Keefe. Okay. Prosecutors tried to block it, saying there's no real proof that those men had a reason or a chance to hurt him. The judge still has not decided yet. As of 12 noon today, maybe something came out. I'll look it up at the end. But this decision is so huge, like Jocelyn and I were just saying. I mean, like, to not allow that theory is just, it's crazy. And I think the judge, honestly, should be taken off this case if that's what she does.
Right.
That's not right.
So Mark had asked a question. See his question?
Yeah, question.
Why won't Supreme Court make them bring back the jury because they agreed not guilty in 2 of the 3 charges? The fact is, the problem is that they contacted the lawyer and left a message on the answer machine. It just wasn't done through the correct channels, and I think there was a lot of back and forth of, well, it wasn't like a sterile kind of. I'm saying after the jury ended or after the court ended, it was like a week or 2 that one of the jurors left a message on the lawyer's answer machine about how they felt like, by the way, we said not guilty for
2 of them.
Number 2, for 2, right?
2 of the 3 charges were not guilty, and then which was the one that they were like they couldn't decide on? It wasn't the manslaughter one, right? The manslaughter one, they said not guilty, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. Right. Correct. It wasn't like thought of, like she didn't plan it. So that, right. Anyway, so what the prosecution argued was basically that them coming into the facts of the jurors, having a different opinion wasn't said in court. It didn't go through the correct channels. So now how could you believe them? Like who's to say that they didn't change their mind afterwards? So there's obviously their vote is not recorded in the sense, or like their discussions aren't recorded, so they couldn't even go back to something. So like once they left that courtroom that day, when they called mistrial, it's almost like, unless they went straight to the judge or straight to a lawyer and said it, or went through the proper channels, it was kind of like, no, now it's kind of like null and void.
Right.
Because it's not, do you understand what I mean? Like, it's not sterile. Like it could be like somebody could just say that and the other person could, turn around and be like, well, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't know how to explain it. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
No?
I understand.
Oh.
Somewhat. Okay. I do. But when you say bring the jury back, you don't mean bring them back for this case, right? Because you can't have the same jury on the second case. I don't think he's asking that.
Right, no, but before this one that's going to start April 1st, the defense was trying to get the judge to call all the jury people back so they can announce and say officially on record that B said not guilty for that. But according to the prosecution, they're saying, well, they went home, they have time to sit on it, and we don't know if somebody changed their mind. There's no, we don't know if somebody lied about it. Maybe they felt coerced that now they have to say not guilty, because now they've seen all the outside stories, the newspaper clippings, the online resources, and maybe they changed their mind. So the fact is that they can't come back in and say, okay, I say not guilty.
Yeah, because then they would have been considered tainted at that point.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's what I mean by it's not sterile. Yeah.
Okay, so newsflash, I do have an update. I just found out that today, it answers that question we were talking about before, about the private text with her lawyers. Prosecutors they presented this today, that they wanted access to Karen's messages with her lawyer, saying that she had talked about them publicly in a docuseries. So they felt that because she was so open and brought him to the world on a documentary, well, then we should get copies of them. And the judge answered and said no. Thankfully, the judge, held that up. She said private conversations with your lawyer are protected, even if you talk about them later or anywhere else. But you still have a right to have those protected if you choose to change your mind about it and say, look, I don't want to give these out. I don't want to talk about them anymore. It's your lawyer. It's your relationship. So there's that. So they can't use it in court. So the trial's moving forward as planned, thankfully, and jury selection will be April 1st. And Karen's team is expected to continue pushing the theory that others may have been responsible. So yeah, that's the update for Karen Reed. And this case is bonkers, man.
Yeah.
Right? It really is. It's pretty nuts.
I feel bad for her. Bad situation.
It is, and I'm actually really worried this time. I'm worried that
Yeah.
it's gonna be guilty. Right?
Really.
I'm just worried.
Well, they
about
took
it.
off they took out one of the charges so that they can, I think that's a strategy for them. But I'm excited to hear about this dog. I'm hoping to hear something about this dog bite situation.
Yes, I know, right?
You
Let's
know?
get an expert in there and please start disclosing to everyone when you pay for a witness, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,